I've played through Nomad intro more than 10 times, and I still kept finding things I missed. Like, who's driving that suspicious car? Why are so many people in Yucca wearing respirator masks? Who is being interrogated in the other two rooms at customs? And, most importantly, what's up with that weird self-made cemetery that nobody ever talks about? Usually I waltz through it, following the linear path the devs designed for me. But this time I went back to take a closer look at all of it. Here are 7 details I found that nobody seems to mention. Quick note, I'll be using a few mods throughout this video, so if you are completely against this kind of thing, this is your warning. Number 1. Who is at the wheel of that car? When V is at the comms tower talking to McCoy on the radio, you can see a car crossing the desert, kicking up dust as it goes. This car appears in every playthrough. It's not random. It's clearly a scripted event placed there on purpose. At first, I was 100% sure it was Jackie, speeding towards the new meeting point. But I decided to double-check, just in case. And it's not Jackie. It's a Nomad vehicle, with the same driver every time, heading toward the border checkpoint. The car disappears once it reaches the road. But one thing is clear. It's a completely different car, not the one Jackie used to get to the farm. Number 2. Can V and Jackie use a different car instead of the broken one? In my main Nomad video, V got a full point for using a barely functioning car on a risky job. But could they have used the car parked behind the farm instead? I boosted my technical ability to 20 and broke into it. And what do you know? It works. It's a fully functioning car that you can actually drive and use to explore the area. However, later in the game, we learn that Jackie has just bought a motorcycle, and he had to take out a loan to do so. So the car he used to get to the meeting spot is most likely not his own, it's stolen. And if the border security are somehow already aware that they should be looking out for the stolen vehicle, trying to cross the border in it might put Jackie and V in even bigger danger. In other words, even though V's car was falling apart, the only backup option was potentially already on a police watch list. Number 3. Why are half the town of Yucca wearing respirator masks? In case you never tried this, you can actually get out of the car right after leaving the garage and explore Yucca. While you do it, you might notice that quite a few people are wearing respirator masks. It makes total sense. This area is constantly being polluted by emissions from Night City's factories and plants. Chemicals settle and build up in the sand, and when a sandstorm, also known as a haboob, hits, the air turns even more toxic. So protecting yourselves with masks while leaving in the Badlands is a smart thing to do. As for why so many people wear them, that's probably because the devs cut some corners and reused the same model. Also, it seems that the appearance of NPCs is random and changes with each new playthrough. But when masked people are present, at least the lore backs it up. By the way, while I was at it, I tried talking to people in town to see if they react with the same animosity to a Nomad that the sheriff did. And I discovered that this vendor actually refuses to serve Nomads if you talk to him. Most players will probably never even interact with this guy, but the devs still took the time to record a line just in case someone does. It's a nice little touch that makes the world feel more lived in. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Number 4. What if you come to the meeting spot on foot? Even if you park the car front in, it somehow ends up perfectly parked back in when you and Jackie leave with the cargo. Very convenient. So I started wondering, what if I don't bring the car at all? Will it just magically appear anyway? Turns out, the devs thought of that. If you show up on foot, Jackie and V actually have extra lines for this case. V explains that he needs to go back and bring the car first, so no shortcuts here. The game doesn't let you break this sequence, which honestly makes sense, but I respect that they bothered to record lines for it, instead of just throwing up an invisible wall. Number 5. Can V just cross the border himself and leave Jackie behind? Technically, he's already gone through the customs interrogation, handed over the papers, and should be free to go. So on paper, this should work. But the moment I try to cross the border, V is taken down. So yeah, it looks like Night City border security deals with even the smallest deviation from protocol very quickly. For the year 2026, this feels a bit familiar. I just can't quite put my finger on what it reminds me of. Drop a comment if you know. Number 6. Who is being interrogated in the other 2 rooms at customs? To find out, I had to use the mod again. It wasn't easy, you know. I had to download it from Patreon of a famous modder, spend some time to understand how it works, and all of it for nothing, because room number 1 contains just a random pedestrian. In room number 3, however, there's a member of the Aldecaldo clan. It's not the same driver from the car we saw racing through the desert earlier, which feels like a missed opportunity. That would have been such a nice continuity detail. The kind you only notice if you're a complete nerd like me. Finally, the next one is about something I never noticed until I started making this video. Number 7. Who is buried in the cemetery next to the garage? Right before heading to Night City, Jackie and V briefly stop in a trailer park with a cemetery. This whole area is surrounded by Biotechnica's protein farms, so these burials must be connected to the company, right? I came across a couple of theories about this. The first one says these are members of the Red Ochre clan, victims of Project Nightingale, which we learn about later in the guinea pig's gig. The second theory is even wilder. It claims that Biotechnica kidnaps people and uses human body parts to create artificial meat. So does any of these theories make sense? Let's start with the Red Ochre theory. Who would have buried them there? It wouldn't be the clan members themselves. Why would they leave their dead in the middle of Biotechnica flats and just move on? Biotechnica doesn't make sense either. They would have just disposed of the bodies. No evidence, no traces. And even if they didn't, they definitely wouldn't take the time to place these improvised tombstones, pipes, tires, almost lovingly. I don't really buy either of those theories. I think this is simply a local cemetery, people who lived in this trailer park and worked for Biotechnica. But why are they buried here? Could it be their families couldn't afford a place in the columbarium? We'll probably never know for sure, but I think that's what makes this world feel real. Even the places nobody marks on a map have a story behind them. So that's it. I was hoping to find something that I missed, something that would shift my perspective on Nomad V intro and make me reconsider the fool versus judgment points that I awarded him in my previous video. It didn't shift my verdict, but I think that's okay. Sometimes a suspicious car and a nameless cemetery are intriguing enough on their own. If you found this interesting, you can check out my breakdowns of all 3 V intros. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow, and honestly, it keeps me going. Next up, back to the Heist series. Hope to see you there. Take care.